Hi and welcome to another episode of Greymouse Does Stuff. I'm Greymouse. In this tutorial we're going to be having a look at the Apple II NIB disk image file format. Now the NIB disk image file format differs from the disk file format. If you're trying to transfer a disk image and the disk image doesn't work on the Apple Win emulator, you can try creating a NIB image instead, and the NIB image will have all the extra bit copy routines, sector address headers, non-data, embedded disk information, all bits and pieces which could have been added to the disk as a copy protection scheme. Copies those bits over as well. The version that I'm using of Apple Disk Transfer Pro only allows me to transfer 140 kilobyte disk images, and since the NIB file format is 232 kilobytes, this needs to be split into two across two disks. So let's begin. PC side, we need a blank disk. We need two blank disk images and we need a blank NIB image. You can download blank disk images from the internet, but you can transfer a blank disk image using Apple Disk Transfer Pro to the PC, and that will give you a blank disk image as well. So I'll show you how to do that now. If you take a look at my previous videos, it will show you how Apple Disk Transfer is set up. So I'm just going to quickly go through and transfer a blank disk image over to the PC. So this is a blank formatted disk, and once it's transferred I'll hop over to the PC and we'll have a look at it on the PC end. Great. The easiest way to get more blank disks on the PC is simply by copying and pasting. 140 kilobytes, and the NIB image above it is 228 kilobytes. Just rename it. Now we've got two blank disk images. Test the disk image. Yep, that disk image is working. Test the other disk image. Yep, that's fine as well. I'll quickly rename these disks images. That will help us out a bit later. Done. Two disk images and one blank NIB image. Let's boot up Saltine Super Trans Copy to do that. We want B for SST. This is the main menu for Saltine Super Trans Copy. And the first thing we're going to do is reformat the two blank disks that I've created earlier. Blank disk number 1 is in the second drive. D for duplicate and any key. Now I'll do the other blank disk. D for duplicate again. Okay, so those two disks are ready. So the idea here is we are going to create a NIB image, and a NIB image is made up of two separate floppy disks. What this program will do is it will separate one floppy disk into two separate floppy disks, and then we will use Apple Disk Transfer Pro to transfer both those disks, and then on the PC we will create a single NIB image from both of those two blank disks. I'll show you how to do it. It will make more sense as I show you how to do it. Press 1 and we're going to pack the disk in drive 1. The defaults work fine. Press enter. That happens from time to time. Just quickly put a write protect tab onto the floppy disk. Okay, we enter the second blank disk into drive 2 while leaving the original in drive 1. And press return. Okay, that's done. The next step in the process is to transfer those two disks that we've just made using Apple Disk Transfer to the PC. Choose the disk that we just created and drive 2. Okay, now we'll send the other disk, disk number 2 that we just created. Okay, so both those two disks have now been put onto the PC. Now we're going to create a NIB image from those two disks. Okay, so we've just transferred these two disk images, and the next step is that we're going to pack these two disk images back into the one blank file. Alright, so we have to set a couple of things up in the emulator. Alright, make sure that you're using the authentic machine speed and that the disk access speed is set to authentic. I find that sometimes in the enhanced speed, when you try and copy things or format disks, that sometimes it doesn't do a proper job. So by setting it to authentic speed, then it will be more reliable. At least that's what I found anyway. And then we press OK. So now we have to do a few tricks in order for this to work. First we'll put disk 1 of 2 into the second drive. And we're going to go for copy 2 plus 5.0. I'm doing this because there is a problem with the SST where it doesn't move the disk arm back to track 0 sector 0 on drive 2, so this is a workaround for it. Okay, go to the sector editor, disk B, and we're going to read the sector track 0 sector 0. Okay, so that's the workaround applied. What we do now is we're going to reboot the emulator with the SST disk still in the drive. And we run SST, we'll start by swapping some disks around. Disk 1 of 2 in drive 1 and the blank NIB image in drive 2. And let's unpack it. So go 1, 3 and 1. Enter, enter, enter. The defaults are normally fine. So we press return and the process should begin. Okay, so that's that disk done. Disk 2 in. And press return. Okay, it's done. Both disks have been unpacked onto one blank NIB image. Let's test the the blank NIB image to see if it works. Let's reboot. So far so good. Which seems to be working. I hope you liked this video. Please leave any comments below, like this video or subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.